You see someone across the room. Your heart rate climbs. Your palms sweat. You have absolutely no idea what to say. That feeling is not modern. That feeling is ancient. It is older than language, older than fire, older than the first tool anyone ever chipped out of flint. For roughly 300,000 years, your ancestors faced the exact same problem you do. How do you find the right person? How do you make them choose you? The answer was nothing like what you have been told. There were no dating apps, no candlelit dinners, no carefully worded texts agonized over for 20 minutes. What there was instead was something far more raw, far more public, and in many ways, far more honest. Attraction in the ancient world was not a private transaction. It was a performance, and the entire band was watching. Anthropologist Polly Wiessner spent decades studying the Kung San people of the Kalahari, one of the world's last hunter-gatherer societies. What she found challenges almost everything modern culture assumes about how humans choose partners. Status mattered enormously, but not the kind you were thinking of. Not wealth, not a job title, not a car. The currency of attraction in a band of 30 people was skill, generosity, and nerve. Could you track an animal for 3 days without losing the trail? Could you share your kill with families who had nothing? Could you stand up and speak when everyone else stayed silent? These were not small things. These were survival signals, and your body was reading them before your conscious mind even registered the person's face. Anthropologists call this intersexual selection, the process by which one sex evaluates the fitness of the other. Your brain inherited hardware from ancestors who had to make these assessments fast, in the dark, with their lives depending on the outcome. So let us reconstruct a scene. It is dusk at a camp somewhere in southern Africa, perhaps 100,000 years ago. A fire burns at the center. Someone begins to drum. Then someone else begins to sing. Then a young man stands and dances, not because anyone asked him to, but because this is exactly the right moment to be seen. Dancing was not entertainment. It was advertisement. It displayed coordination, stamina, rhythm, and a willingness to be vulnerable in public. Researchers studying the evolutionary roots of music and movement, including work by Robin Dunbar at Oxford, found that synchronized physical performance triggers the release of endorphins, the same neurochemicals that bonding and trust depend on. Dancing together was one of the oldest forms of pair assessment. And then there was the question of family. In small bands, you did not date in secret. You could not. Every elder, every cousin, every grandmother with sharp eyes and a long memory was evaluating the match alongside you. This was not interference. This was protection. It reduced the chance of a bad pairing that could fracture the social fabric that everyone depended on to survive. Marriage in the hunter-gatherer world was less a romantic declaration and more a negotiation between families, a formal recognition that two networks were now joined. The Kung San practiced bride service. A prospective partner proves his value not with money, but with years of labor for his partner's family before the union is formalized. So what was love? It existed. Skeletal evidence from ancient burial sites shows pairs interred together, arms entangled, tens of thousands of years old. Art from Blombos Cave in South Africa, some of the oldest symbolic expression ever found, may encode social meanings that included signals of identity and partnership. Love was real, but it was earned in public, tested by community, and built on observable proof that this person could contribute to survival. Here is the counterintuitive part. Modern dating has given you more choice than any human in history has ever had. Thousands of profiles, filters for height, income, horoscope, and yet rates of loneliness, mismatch, and dissatisfaction have never been higher. Your ancestors had 30 people and almost no choice at. But those 30 people knew each other deeply. They had watched each other carry weight for years. There was no performance without an audience that could verify it was real. You see someone across the room, your heart rate climbs, your palms sweat. Your ancient brain is still running the same scan it always has. It is asking, can this person be trusted when everything falls apart? That question has not changed in 300,000 years. Only the room has.